Dan Munch here, and Happy New Year. We're back with a new episode of Edmonton Uncovered, and we are at Clair-I-Tea. The first episode I did on Edmonton Uncovered was in Clair-I-Tea, and I just had to come back. And we were offered a Chia Cake, an amazing cake. So I just had to come back and discuss how this is made with Drea, the owner of Vibin Eats, a plant-based, gluten-free food business. So let's check out the soups, the salads, and the cakes that Drea has to offer. Let's go and check it out. Too vegan or not too vegan? That is the question.
I might even have an answer.
And what is your answer?
I think it should be whatever you want it to be.
That's the good.
But the kids now are calling it plant-based.
Okay.
Can you even believe it? They're always screwed up with our words.
So what's the reason for the transition between vegan?
I have really honestly no idea, actually. I don't know. I just know all of a sudden within the last year I noticed everything became plant-based.
Okay.
And veganism kind of went more to the activist role. And plant-based is now more what we talk about the food. So I'm here to talk about food. You want to talk about food?
I want to taste some food.
Let's talk about food. Let's talk about food.
So Drea, how did you get into the business?
Well, to be honest with you, I've been cooking my whole life, and I didn't realize that I had such a gift to be able to put into food because I've had to do it anyway. And I was on a bit of a decompression after raising kids, and finally came to a point where my husband said, "All right, babe, what's next?" And I was like, "Oh, what is next? Like, what's gonna be next?" I've done many jobs. I've had many roles in my lifetime. And it's like, what is next? And my kids have always encouraged me, "Well, Mom, you make such fantastic food." So for Christmas one year, my daughter gave me my business cards. And that's what kind of started it. And I do a lot of work with women's groups here in Edmonton and Sherwood Park. And I was in mystery school out in Sherwood Park. And we had to show up on those weekends with vegetarian food. And no one was eating vegetarian or vegan back then when I was in mystery school. So everyone asked me, "Can you just prepare the food for the weekend?" So I'm like, okay, it's easy. It was so easy for me to do it that I didn't realize that it was such a gift. I'm a woman who's come out of childhood trauma, so I've been really working with my business into discovering who I am and why I'm here and what I have to offer.
So there's more of a meaning than just preparing food to sell.
The preparing food part is easy.
Okay.
It's easy for me, so that part is easy. It's really discovering who I was and who I am and really what gifts I do have. And it's important to me that intention is in the food that I make.
So when you're preparing your food, what's your thought process behind the salads and the soups and the flavors? How do you come up with all these magnificent different recipes?
If I'm doing it, if I'm being hired to do like a catering gig or something very intimate or something, I first find out what it's all about. What are you doing this weekend? What is your retreat weekend all about? And then I sit with that, and it's literally just kind of like downloaded to me. It's like, oh, you should be working with this, and you should be working with that, and from there, I'll just kind of sit with it, and I can layer food in my mind and almost taste it. And it's like, oh, that should go with that, and that should go with that. And like I had said earlier, it's like, it's really important to me that food meets all the things. It's got to be a little sweet, it's got to be a little sour, and it's got to be a little salty, and it's got to be a tiny bit spicy, and it's got to have some crunch to it, and it meets all those things so that when you have a bite, you're satisfied. There's a satisfaction to that, because food has been given such a bad rap for a long time because we are so mixed up in our self-image and body image, and it's really sad because food nourishes us. So that's why I stepped into plant-based and gluten-free, so that everyone could still really enjoy what I have to offer, what's out there, with no guilt. Okay. No guilt.
Yeah. So Drea, what have we got here?
Oh, well, we have soup.
Okay.
Yeah, butternut squash soup, very simple soup. It's really silky, a little bit sweet. Okay. The infamous Chia Cake.
Okay.
And chickpea brownies that I make. These are staples here at Clair-I-Tea. So always come in, you can always get a delicious bowl of soup, fantastic piece of Chia Cake, and a brownie. This one, use your fingers.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, get in there with your fingers.
So, how did you construct this bad boy?
This actually is chickpea flour.
Okay.
I really like to work with chickpea flour. I kind of compare them to like great big huge chocolate chip cookie bars.
Okay.
So that's what it kind of tastes like. So get into it.
Yeah.
Get into it. Get into it right now.
And yet again,
put it in your mouth.
Yeah,
Put it in your mouth.
So a lot of people will be thinking with the vegan, with the plant-based, that they need the butter in there, but you can mix it up. You don't always have to do, your high butter content and your eggs and stuff. You can have this food, and I think a lot of people wouldn't even know the difference.
I think that's really it. Is that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the expansion with people, because we do get stuck in our ways and how things should be. But it's just understanding the science and what the purpose of that ingredient does, and can you find something to replace it? Can you find something that does the same thing, that'll give you the same reaction that it will with the other ingredients?
So this is the reason I came back. I needed to see the creator of this dish that I was offered on my first episode of Edmonton Uncovered. So what have we got here then, Drea?
This is Chia Cake. This is my baby, actually. I created it about 3 years ago with my niece, Alex, who helped me originally when I first started off in this business. And a lot of my friends were celiac and just couldn't eat cakey things anymore. And I wanted to experiment with it, and we experimented with chia and changed, instead of it being like a pudding, and just thickened it up a bit and started to flavor it up a bit different and gave it a crust and a top and played with it, and we created Chia Cake, and it is really good, and I really appreciate that you came back to get more, because
I couldn't just have it once.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it a few times now. So what goes into making this particular one?
Well, this one's cranberry, blueberry, maple.
Okay.
So it starts with the base. And the base I like to use like a seed. So I usually use like a pumpkin seed or a sesame seed and an oatmeal and dates. This one's made with dried cranberries because it was cranberry, blueberry. Something like a base that you would make for like a cheesecake or a really fancy cheesecake, like a cashew cheesecake. And then the middle part, the actual chia cake part, it's just chia seeds and some kind of milk. It can be some kind of non-dairy milk if you're keeping it plant-based.
Cool.
And this one is an oat milk, no, pea milk. Pea milk, actually. I've been stepping into pea milk.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I wonder how much milk you get out of one pea.
I thought how do you milk a pea?
A lot of peas were killed in the making of this, okay?
There was no peas killed in the making of this. And then I top it. I like to top it with the same thing I use on the bottom, and voila, we create a cake. And then I like to, there's this maple cinnamon sauce that it's just maple syrup and cinnamon.
Tuck in.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
This is, hopefully you're salivating at home here or wherever you're watching this.
A bite?
And I really, honestly, when I first ate this cake first time round, I didn't think I was going to like it. I looked at it and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And you know what? I'm coming back for second helpings, third helpings, fourth helpings. Can't get enough of it. I'm going to have a little bit more. So good.
I so love that. Thank you. I'm having some too.
So other than eating your amazing food in Clair-I-Tea, where else will we find you?
I'm on Facebook, Hi Vibin Eats on Facebook, and I do have an Instagram account, Hi Vibin Eats as well. I'm a little old school, so, but generally you can find me here at Clair-I-Tea.
And the cards are here, so come in, eat the amazing food, and just go and grab a card and you can ding-a-ling-ling.
Yeah, give me a call. Give me a call. I'm old school. Call me on the phone.
So that wraps up another edition of Edmonton Uncovered. If you want to be on an edition of Edmonton Uncovered, email me at munch@clubhousegroup.ca. I'm going to tuck into a little bit more chia cake. Bye for now.